Pakistan. The time is 4:45 p.m. So we're back with another interview. So today we have a special guest with us, Gabe Gabrielle. So I'm so excited that he's in our Inspiring Minds show. So we'll get to him, and first I give his introduction that he was the former director. He's also former director of engineering for the U.S. Air Force Special Operations Command, former engineer for NASA at Kennedy Space Center, member of NASA Speaker Bureau for 11 years, international speaker presented in 18 countries, cited guide for a triathlete who is blind. So, yeah, so from his introduction, I am so excited to know about him that a person from NASA because um, I love about space to learn or think about space when you at the night you sleep or you are outside you see the stars, you see the moon, yeah, and at the morning you're seeing sun and you think what why how they go in space, how, yeah, so let's see. So hey, how are you?
Well, good morning from here and good evening to you. I'm doing excellent. It's great introduction. I like your enthusiasm. I like the way you talk about, the idea of space and what it means. And I think many people think like you. Not you don't have to be an aeronautical engineer or you don't have to be an astronomer to still be fascinated with space and astronomy and things like that. So I love your enthusiasm. Being part of the space program is magical. It is so much fun. You would love it.
Yeah, so uh, so my first question to you is that it will be about your work and NASA. So what was your favorite project while working at NASA?
So, I love working at NASA, and I never really even said I worked at NASA. It was always an adventure. It was always a journey for me. Every time I went to NASA in any kind of way, and when I would say NASA, I mean on Kennedy Space Center, it was just like I went into this magical environment. It was just so much fun to be around. Everywhere you look, every building, every wall, there's pictures of space, there's pictures of the stars. And your mind is always going to these magical places. It's just so much fun. And then you see a big building, you see a ship put together, and it goes to these magical places. So your imagination becomes reality. It's just so much fun for me. And every day was a new adventure. Every day was exciting. Every day was fun. But without a doubt, the most thing is the launches. When they have a launch, a shuttle, space shuttle launch, there's nothing like it in the world. I try to explain what it's like is you're like 5 kilometers away from this big ship and you really can't see it, you really can't hear it, but you kind of know where it is, and you're waiting and you're counting down and everybody's excited and everybody's jumping around, and then all of a sudden you're looking where it is and you can't hear it, you can't see it because you're 5 kilometers away, but you're watching and looking, and then all of a sudden you get a vibration in your feet. This thing is so powerful that when it takes off, it shakes the earth trying to take off because it develops so much power, what's called lift. Lift means 3 million kilos of lift means to go up, you have to push down on the earth with 3 million kilos. And this ship is locked down. It's starting the engine, it's building power. It's literally shaking the earth, trying to take off, but it's locked down. And all the cars feel it. So the cars think somebody's trying to break in. So horns are honking, lights are flashing, sirens are going off, your body is shaking. And this thing, when it lifts off, it's majestic. It goes really, really slow. It makes a turn and it's gone. And you're watching it and watching. You still don't hear anything. It's so crazy. Then all of a sudden you hear it, but you're looking there and you hear it there. It goes so fast it leaves the sound behind. So it plays mind games with you. So to me, there's nothing like these launches. They're just so much fun.
Okay, so what makes you energetic?
Uh, every minute of every day makes me energetic. I always have energy. I'm always having fun. I'm always enjoying my life. Every day when I wake up happy and I wake up excited. Doesn't matter what's ahead. does not matter what happens. I know I will enjoy it. I know I will make it fun. The challenge is never to do something. The challenge is to enjoy doing it. If you can make everything you do, every minute of every day, everything you do, you make it your favorite thing to do as you are doing it, your life will be filled with happiness and joy, so and excitement. So for me, it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter where I am. I enjoy everything equally, and that's the challenge. And it's a mental thing. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he said, "Well, sometimes I can't think that way." Why not? Because sometimes one day is better than the other, only because you think it's better. But he would not give in to the fact that you can learn to enjoy everything. So for me, every day, every minute is exciting. I'm just so overjoyed and so thankful to be living the life I live.
Yeah, so it's a good thing that you start your day with happiness, and then you make the day bad or happy with you feel it with happiness, or if you will smile, or if you will be sad in the morning, then you can't do any work because you'll be
Yes,
down, you can't do
yes,
anything. But when you will smile and start your day with happiness, then your day will be best. You think so?
yeah. I've always been happy. I've always felt really
Yeah.
good and very thankful. You know, you want to learn to be thankful as well, no matter what you have or don't have. Whatever you have, be thankful for it. There's others who have less. So I'm always thankful, and I'm always aware I have it really, in my mind, I have it really, really good. But it doesn't matter how I have it. It matters how I see how I have it. There are many people who have everything, but they don't appreciate anything. So it's how you always be thankful for what you have, and you can always have try to have more, but always be thankful for what you have, and then you'll feel good about yourself and your day.
Yeah, we should be happy on what we have,
Yes.
and we should try more, but we should also be thankful on what we have to us. So my next question to you is, what was your biggest challenge in life and how did you overcome it?
You know, just for me, I talk a lot about growing up, how I struggled growing up, that I hated school and I really did bad, and I flunked in school, and I was always fighting with my parents. And so for me, I guess the challenge just to get away from home and get on my own. You know, when I really didn't. I had good parents. My parents really tried to direct me in the right way, and but I hated school, and I was always in trouble, and so I was always fighting with my parents, and I knew it wasn't my parents' fault. I knew it was my fault that I was doing the things I shouldn't be doing, but I didn't care. I wanted to do them anyway. Basically, I wanted to go to the beach and I wanted to play sports. I didn't want to do anything else. And so I hated school because I couldn't do that while I was in school. So I really, really struggled. So I think for me, just to get through school, just even to graduate high school was an amazing accomplishment. And the only reason I got through high school, I think, is I have a twin sister. And in the back of my mind, somehow I wanted to finish school when she finished school. So that got me through high school. And I think just getting through that phase in my life was probably the biggest challenge. Although looking back, I enjoyed most of it. It was just a lot of challenges, like most kids have. What are you going to do when you grow up? What are you going to do? Your parents are always asking you this and that. And many people, many kids don't know, like me. If you know what you want to do, you're really, really lucky. You just go do it. If you don't know, it's very, very difficult to do something when you don't know what it is. And there's no magic switch that you can just flip and know. So, I think that was just the biggest challenge, just to get away from home and get on my own.
Yeah. So now, have you ever met a astronaut, and what did you feel?
So I've met many, many astronauts. Being at Kennedy Space Center, so Kennedy Space Center is where the astronauts go to space, but they live in Houston, Texas. And when they have to go to space, they come from Houston, they come to Kennedy, and they hang out for a little while. We get to meet them and talk with them, ask them about their mission. Then they go up to space, and they're in space for 6 months. And they come back down. We get to talk with them again. So I've met many, many astronauts, and they're people like anybody else. They just got a really super cool job, but They're pretty much like everybody else. The most famous astronaut, probably the most famous person I ever met in my life, was an astronaut, and his name was Buzz Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin was the second person to walk on the moon, and I got to hang out with this guy for about an hour on the beach. It was really cool, just me and him. And mainly I was listening to what he was talking about in the '60s and '70s when the astronauts were going to the moon, and he was going to the moon. What it was like to do that, with the technology of that day compared to today.
Yeah, so who was the inspiring or the best one that you think?
I do get asked that question a lot, and I really say I don't really think there were a couple incidents in my life were kind of strange. Growing up, I had two uncles, uh, my dad's brothers, that I really really enjoyed being around, and they will always seem to be having fun. They always seem to be enjoying life, and everybody else was complaining about something. And I remember in my mind thinking, wow, uh, I want to be like them. I want to grow up and I want to have a life like they have. I didn't know anything about it. They never talked to me about it, but I kind of remember thinking, at least I could see that it was possible to have that kind of life. I didn't know how I would do it, but that was kind of what I wanted growing up. So I kind of say they were kind of my indirectly my role models, and the rest of the time I don't know. I just kind of looked around and looked at different people and maybe pulled a little bit from different people, but for the most time I pretty much did what I wanted to do. I followed my own instincts, and I was able to look at things and look at them, the consequences. Sometimes we do things that we don't think about what happens when we do them, and we go do them, and then we realize we probably should have thought it through a little bit better. So
Then we
somehow
regret.
yeah, yeah, well, never regret. Always, you would never want to think regret. You want to think, I learned something. It was a positive experience. There's never a negative experience. When you do something like that and it doesn't go as expected, you say to yourself, okay, I learned something. You have to stop where you are, you have to back up, and you have to do it again. You take that knowledge with you. It's a good thing, it's not a bad thing. We learn most when things don't go as expected. And one of the things we learn most is that we have the ability to get through it anyway. If it doesn't go the way we think the first time, we try it. Try it a second time and keep trying it till we get what we want because we learn every time. So I never have regrets. Never. I never say fail. I say learning experience. We never fail. We always learn. So never think failure. Think learning experience. Try to only have positive words in your mind.
Yeah, so I also think that we notice something that we learn from our failure, and next time we don't do it. Yeah, so we
Exactly.
learn from our failures.
So try not to say failure. Say we have a learning experience.
Yeah, it's also a good experience that you learn new things. But
Yeah, you never fail.
yeah,
You never fail. Never. You always learn. So don't
yeah.
think of it as a negative. It's not a negative when things don't go as expected.
Okay, so how can we stay motivated when things get hard?
So I never say hard. I say challenge. Nothing is ever hard to me. I never say work. I never say hard. I never say stress. I never say pressure. I never say fail. There are certain words that I don't use. I try to replace them with something positive. So I always say challenge. You know, um, for me, every day is a challenge. Every minute is a challenge. And you want to always challenge yourself to do the best you can with whatever you're doing. So for me, I just love the opportunity to challenge myself to do something I haven't done, or if I did it and it didn't go as I expected, I challenge myself to try to do it better and to correct it. So that's kind of what I do, and how I look at things.
What advice do you give to the students who want to come in NASA?
Well, if you want to come to NASA, it's very challenging to come to NASA because you have to be an American citizen. So if you want to come to Mass, I don't say it's not possible. It is possible, but it's very challenging and it's take a lengthy process. So if you really want to do this, one of the things you have to do, you can maybe get a major in aeronautical or aerospace engineering in university, but almost any kind of engineering will do. But one of the things you have to do, you have to get to America. That's first of all. And one of the best ways to get here is through university. America has great international exchange programs. So you try to get a university in America, stay for 4 years in the university, then apply to stay and get a job, establish residency, become a citizen, apply to go to NASA. It would take you probably 15 to 20 years if things go well. But that's okay. You're going to pass through those 15 to 20 years anyway. But I always remind everybody, listen, NASA, at one time it was only NASA. Now you have many other opportunities. It doesn't have to only be NASA. Many more countries are going to space. Your neighbor, India, has a great space program. I always hope that at some time India and Pakistan could join together and create, and maybe with Sri Lanka and all the countries in Asia, create your own space program. You all are so smart. You're so talented. If you could learn to help each other and learn to support each other, it would be amazing. But you have other choices. There are commercial companies like SpaceX and Boeing, and in other countries there will be commercial companies. As you're getting older, you're going to have more and more opportunities. So not only NASA, I encourage you, if you'd like to get involved in the space program, try to find a way.
Sir, both countries are furious. They will not try. They just want to fight
No, listen,
because of
it's
water.
it's not the countries that want to fight. It's the governments that want to fight. The people in Pakistan and the people in
They
India
are
are
lovely with each other because we
they
talk.
are
They are lovely with us. Same to
yeah.
same.
You are the same people. I go to both countries. I go to India. I go to Pakistan. I'm involved with both countries. You are the same. The people in Pakistan, the people in India are exactly the same. In history, there was no Pakistan, there was no India. There was just people, and you are those same people, and you are exactly the same. One of the biggest things I learned in my whole life, was what a great place Pakistan is. In my mind, and I think everybody in the West, our mind of Pakistan is terrible, especially after 9/11. You don't know of 9/11, but 9/11 was a big terrorist attack, and the terrorists were sponsored through Pakistan and were protected through Pakistan. That's what we were told at the time. And so the view of Pakistan is very negative. We tend to think of it as a place with suicide bombers, a place where terrorists go, a place where you go if you're a Westerner, you could be shot or kidnapped. We have this terrible perception of Pakistan. Where with India, India is an ally. India, we look up to India. We know people from India are very, very smart because in almost any big company in America, there's an Indian somewhere at the top because they're smart. And what I learned going to Pakistan was Pakistan is the same as India as far as the people. The people in Pakistan are extremely kind, very caring, very giving, and very, very smart. So I always say if the two countries one of the things I try to do when I go to schools in India, I say to the teachers, if I can connect you with a school in Pakistan, will you let the kids speak with each other? And when I'm in Pakistan, I do the same thing. If I can connect you with a school in India, will you let the kids speak with each other? Everybody has said yes. So the only way it will ever change is kids like you and kids in India getting together and look, we don't have to hate each other. We don't have to kill each other. Why are we killing each other? There's something wrong with this. So for me, I'm very frustrated when I see the two countries at war or killing each other because I know the people do not want to do that.
Yeah, sir. I have spent it 6 years with Indians. Like I was in Qatar, and our houses were so near. I played with them. I feel like our own persons.
You
I'm
are
playing with our own. Not
you are
now.
your and now,
Now I'm in Pakistan. Last year I shifted in Pakistan back.
but you still feel the same about people in India?
Yeah,
Okay,
all
good.
people are same.
Yes.
Just the as you said, I love them. We played together. They don't have that mindset of fighting. We played like we're brothers.
How old
Yeah,
are you?
I'm 13.
13. So when I was in India, I was in Pakistan and India last year in October, and I went from Pakistan to India. And when I was in India, I was giving a talk, group of kids, and one of the boys was 10 years old, and I told him I just came from Pakistan, and he said I hate people from Pakistan. I said, what do you mean you hate people from Pakistan? And all he was saying was negative things. And I told him, look, I just left Pakistan. You know, the kids are the same as you. But in 10 years old, probably his parents, probably his relatives, people around him had convinced him at 10 years old that people from Pakistan are bad people and you can't trust them. And it's really sad. And what I tried to do with him, and I'm still trying to do with this, I'm trying he's 11. So I was trying to find a boy his age with the same birthday, and I want in Pakistan, and I want these two to talk. So that's my goal. I'm still trying to do that with him, but yeah, it's really sad because it's kids are taught, people are taught by the government, by people in authority. Uh, Nobody is born wanting to kill somebody. Nobody is born hating somebody. Uh, Most kids, and I've been to 18 countries around the world. Kids are all very kind, very caring, very giving. They're born that way, and it's only the parents and the influence of others that makes them hate others, and it's really really sad.
Yeah, it's only Sir Rehan who is connecting all students. Like we have from in our online academy, we have from India, Morocco, Dubai, and from different countries. We are connecting like a family in one class. We have three classes, and we have coding week do together. We play every Saturday in class. We play games. So yeah, so the Sir Rehan always connect us with people. So it's good, and I think that the mindset is if you're saying that you can't find, so you should try 10% and maybe there will be one. And it doesn't happen that you message 100 and no one will reply you. There will be three people or one people or one person that who will reply you. Yeah, so this is what I try. Now I was also searching foreigners for interview because I have completed all my interviews in Urdu countdown. So now I'm just focusing on English. Yeah, so I do like 10 people, and then let's see how much reply. And then next day when I do one, I if someone says me I don't want to do, I just say him thanks for cooperation and I get to next person. Because we are born, our life is like an exam. We always try again. If we don't know anything, we ask, we ask for help from someone. Yeah,
So
so
you're always learning. You know, life is
yeah.
every day in life is a learning experience, and every day is different. And no matter what you think you're going to do, you just don't always do what you think you're going to do. So you're constantly adjusting and constantly learning. And the fun again, the challenge is to make learning fun. Like everything in your life can be fun. This interview right now, to me, the most important thing in the world right now to me is you and this interview. I'm only focusing on you. You know, when we agreed to do this time, I set everything else aside so I would have this time for you. And it's really important for me that I try to do the best I can for you with the interview. And when you ask me what I want to talk about, I said, it's up to you. You're doing the interview. You do whatever you want. I'm happy with anything. So yeah, you always learn, and learning should be a good experience.
Yeah, so you know what, in free time I like to make my own course, or I write something like I wrote that do what you want, do what you want, explore it, and then achieve it.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, and I think if you write, it's a proof for what is in your heart, what you're thinking, what do you want. So write on a piece of paper and express your feelings and do it. Yeah.
Yeah. We call that a goal. You know, you have a goal, you want to have a goal, and you take your goal and you write it down. And mainly, you know, I talk about three things, and I'll talk about this with you right now. There's three things I talk about and why I do these interviews. It's really important for me. I want you to think about three things. Do your best, enjoy what you do, believe in yourself. If you learn those three things, you will never work. Nothing will ever be hard. You will never have stress. You'll never have pressure. You'll be very successful and have fun doing it if you just learn those three things. Doing your best, that's pretty easy. Challenge yourself. It doesn't matter what it is. How well can I do this? And feel good about your effort. It doesn't matter what happens. As long as you've done your best, feel good about your effort. If it's not what you want, it's okay. Do it again. You will get better because you learn. Enjoy everything you do. This is a little bit more of a challenge. Sometimes you have something you think you don't want to do, but you can find positives in everything. And if you can't, you can say to yourself, could be worse. Then it becomes a positive. I never have a negative experience. It's so important. And believe in yourself. Believe in yourself is so critical. Very few people have it. It doesn't matter how much money they have, it doesn't matter how successful they are. They don't believe in themselves. That's why they have stress. That's why they have pressure. And how do you get that belief in yourself? As you said, you have a thought or a dream. You take that dream and you write it down and you say, this is my goal. And then you ask yourself, what steps do I take to achieve it? Well, I'm here and I want to go there. How do I get there? What steps do I take? You plan very small steps. The smaller the step, the easier it is to accomplish. Easier it is to accomplish, it helps you develop that belief and that confidence in yourself. And you build it very slowly. You don't be in a hurry. You build and build and build till one day you say to yourself, I can do anything. When you believe you can do anything, you will never have stress. You'll never have pressure. You just believe you can do it. And when you have fun doing it, you do it even better. So this is always my goal when I'm speaking at schools. And I've been to Pakistan three times, and I really, really enjoyed the time in Pakistan. I'm looking forward to coming back as well. But just try to remember those three things. Do your best, enjoy what you do, believe in yourself.
Yeah, and these are good points. If we believe on ourselves, and I think in this world you can do anything that you want. If you
Yeah.
believe on yourself and you are strong and you think that I will do it, then you can do anything in the world. Because some people, they don't believe on themselves. They say, "Oh, we can't do it, we can't do it," and they just get back and don't do it. So we have to believe that uh, every time, like, there are steps. You fall one time, then you try, and then you go on the second step, and then when you get back to first, then you try and you go to third. Yeah, so we need to try. Don't think about the back, going back,
Yeah.
because back is like lava, front is peace.
But sometimes we have to go back to go forward. So, you know, it's all a process, it's all a learning experience. And sometimes you think you want to do something a certain way and you get into it and you realize, well, this isn't going the way I thought. So you do have to step back, which is fine. You just learn something. In that process, you learn something. And when you step back, you take that knowledge with you, you go forward again, you're a better and wiser person. That's why I said we never, never fail. We always learn and we take that knowledge with us and we constantly improve. So I never think going backwards is a negative thing. I think it's part of a learning experience. It's part of the adventure. The challenge is to enjoy going back as much as going forward. And if you can learn to do that, everything will be good.
Yeah, so do you know about abundance mindset?
About what?
Abundance mindset.
No, I don't.
So abundance mindset, abundance means something big.
Yes.
So do you? We have I'm in the internship of Sir Zafar Awan Abundance Wala. He is working on abundance. So abundance is that you like in Pakistan there is people are poor. So and there are things that we need to clear. Uh, we need to make things big. So uh, and we are doing a boot camp of 30 days and we are finishing fifth. We have 5 days left. So I learned the 6 Ds exponential uh, of 6 Ds of I think I forgot the name. Um, 6 Ds exponential.
And I think what you're saying,
Peter Dependence by Peter Dependence.
I think what you're doing, I think that's an excellent thing to do. And I think, within the Rehan school, I think all of the students are taught great ways to live, are taught great values, and I really admire the students in Rehan School. I think for those of you going to the school, you're probably pretty fortunate because you're guided and you're taught in a certain way, and many students, many kids in Pakistan don't have that opportunity. So I think you're very fortunate. I've been to many schools in Rehan schools throughout Pakistan, and you all are the same. But kids are the same to me around the world. It doesn't matter the country, it doesn't matter the language, it doesn't matter the culture. Kids are basically identical, not similar, but identical. If you take to me, I've been to 18 countries. If you take kids from those 18 countries, one kid from every country, doesn't matter the language, doesn't matter the culture, age 8 to 10 years old, you put them all in a room, they're going to get along fine. They think the same, they act the same, they interface with each other. They'll find a way to talk, they'll find a way to communicate. When in a very short time, they'll all be best of friends because they are exactly the same. It's amazing to me how much we are alike.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask now. I'm gonna ask you that: have you ever been to space?
No, I've never been to space, but I would really love to go. I've never been to space. I'm a civil structural type of engineer. So, as a civil structural type of engineer, I deal with roads and bridges and buildings and elevators, the infrastructure of Kennedy Space Center. If I was a civil structural engineer in Karachi or in Pakistan, I would do the same kind of thing. I would deal with roads and bridges and buildings, and that's what we do. And I equate it to being like a nurse. If you're a nurse in Pakistan, you're a nurse in America, anywhere where as a nurse, you do the same thing. It's the same with whatever profession you have. The biggest difference is where you do it. Doing it on Kennedy Space Center is really, really special.
So, have you ever saw the training they do before going to space?
Yeah, I see the training all the time. They actually have in Houston, Texas. They have a big laboratory, and I talk about it um, for in the presentation. When I visit schools, I do about a 90-minute talk with movies and pictures about the space program and about those three things. So I have there's a place in Houston, Texas called the Neutral Buoyancy Laboratory. This is a great big pool. So astronauts have to go to space and they have to do things while they're floating. And they have to learn to do that on Earth to train to go to space. So we can't float on Earth because gravity holds us down, but we can float in water. So NASA said, let's train floating in water like we do floating in space. So you can see them in this neutral buoyancy laboratory, which is a big name for fancy pool. It's about 14 meters deep by 30 meters wide by 40 meters long. It's a great big pool. And the astronauts go in there and train. So they train. Our bodies are what's called buoyant, which means we float in water. So NASA said, let's train floating in water like we do floating in space, but we don't want to float on top of the water. Gravity still affect us. So what they do is they put a weight belt around your waist, proportional to your weight, and you go down 7 meters and you stay there. You don't go up, you don't go down. That's called neutral buoyancy. And they practice for a whole year everything that they're going to do in space in this pool. So when they get to space, they'll know how to do it. So I've seen them doing that, and I've seen videos. I haven't really been physically there watching them train, but I am sure it's a lot of fun to do the training.
I saw on video that they wear the whole dress that they wear in space, and they go down, and they also do the blood test. I think so. They shown in the video that they do blood test and they do exercise.
Yes. Yeah, they do exercise. It's very important because in space, there's no gravity, or in microgravity, everything floats. So you don't use muscles and you're up there for 6 months. So if you don't work out and exercise every day during those 6 months, when you come back to Earth, you'll flop on the floor. Or if you're going from one planet to another, when you get to the other planet, you'll be useless. So they have to learn to stay fit. On the International Space Station, they practice staying fit every day. They exercise 2 to 3 hours every day, a lot like on Earth. They have a stationary bike, they have a treadmill, and they have something that looks like a weight machine. But you can't lift weights in space because nothing weighs anything. When you see them looking like they're lifting weights, it's hydraulics or liquids. When they're doing this with the weights, they're trying to compress liquids. Liquids don't compress. That creates resistance to build muscle. So it's really important for them to stay fit in space for the 6 months they're there, and they exercise every single day.
Yeah, so how they come back and how ca- how they come back and stay on Earth? They will like feeling dizzy, and
No, when they come back when they come back, they're fine. Most of them come back. They walk off of the ship. They have a capsule. They come back in a capsule. When the capsule lands, they're able to get out of the capsule and walk around normally. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they when they come back, they used to put them in a box and they wouldn't let them make contact with people and they isolate them. Now they've learned to adapt to living in space, and so when living in space, when they come back, they're pretty much the same the next day as they were before they left.
yeah, so I saw a video that they send some people to the space and they come after a few hours.
Yeah, that's commercial companies. What they're doing, they're taking people up to space and letting them float around, letting them to have the sensation of microgravity. And they're doing that. That's a commercial company that's doing that for people who want to do it. They're not really astronauts. They're just like you. If you want to get on a plane and go from Pakistan to another country, okay. In this case, you get on this ship. It's going to take you up into space. You're going to float around for a little while, and you're going to come back. So that's what that's. I think it's a great thing. I think it's awesome that they do that.
Yeah, so if you get opportunity to go on moon, what first thing you will
I
do?
would go. That's the first thing I would do. I would go. If they say you can go to the moon, I would go. And when I get there, it just depends. They had astronauts that were there before that had a car and they drove around in the moon on the car. So I'd love to drive around the moon in the car. I think that would be kind of cool to see what you could see. and and just the moon's gravity is 1/6 of Earth's. So if you could jump 1 meter on Earth, you could jump 6 meters on the moon. So I think it'll be fun to try to jump around and do things in that little gravity, and just enjoy it and have fun with the whole experiencing something new. I would love to go if I had the chance.
Have you visited to northern mountains of
No,
Pakistan?
I haven't. I've been to Karachi, I've been to Lahore, and I've been to, I can't remember the name of the other city. I've been to three cities.
Islamabad?
Yes, Islamabad. I've been to those three cities in Pakistan, and most of the time, uh, I'm in Islamabad or Lahore or Karachi. Uh, I'll be coming back my fourth time, hopefully the end of this year, maybe in October, and I'll probably visit those same three cities again.
Yeah, so do you visit with your friends or
I
alone?
visit on my own. I do everything on my own. I don't get any money to do this. I don't ask for any money. I pay my own airfare. I don't ask schools for any money. So I do everything on my own, and I pay for everything on my own. The only thing I ask for is a place to stay and somebody to provide transportation to take me to events. Other than that, I do it just for the joy of doing it.
Yeah, so when you come next time, you should visit Murray, that is near Islamabad. it takes 32 minutes, and it's like on mountain. You're staying on mountain.
Yeah, the biggest issue I have is when I visit cities or countries. Like when I go to Pakistan, I'll probably go to Pakistan, India, Dubai, and Sri Lanka all on the same trip. So I only have a limited time in each country. So most of the time, all I'm doing is going from school to school to school, visiting students, and if I have the opportunity to do something like that, I will try to do it. The issue is it just costs so much to come to Asia from America. So when I'm there, I try to do only speaking with schools and spending time with students, and that's really what I want to do most.
Okay, so uh, this was Gabe Gabriel. That today we talk with him, and we'll be next time with another guest. So till that time, take care. And at the end, will go to him and ask for feedback, that how did he love our interview and what feedback he want to give us. So let's go. So yes, so what feedback do you
Yeah,
give?
so I think the interview was excellent. I really enjoyed speaking with you. I love your enthusiasm. I can understand, and a lot of the students are like you. When you're listening, when I'm giving an answer, I can see you're paying attention, you're listening to what I'm saying, and you're trying to understand. Say something you can do, something you can adapt to yourself, and I think the interview was great. I love that you joined in and shared your thoughts. I think at 13 years old, you have a great perspective. I hope it's going to be students like you and kids like you as you get older that you will be able to get Pakistan and India to join together instead of all of the stupid, crazy killing and hating each other that just should not exist. I think it's really, really sad, but it's going to be students like you. And I like that you're involved in that and it's something that you think you want to do. For the interview, I enjoyed the interview totally. It went very, very fast. I enjoyed sharing your thoughts and sharing my thoughts. And I thank you very much for the opportunity. Just remember those three things: do your best, enjoy what you do, believe in yourself.
Yeah, so should we end it with a
Yeah, we can
smile?
end it with a smile and with a heart.
Okay, so I need to put my one hand to end it. So yeah, one hand.
Okay.
So okay, so everyone, bye. We'll meet next time with another